Hey there, Star 77 Productions, back at you with another review video, and this one is the Merax 12-foot trampoline from Amazon. A great, safe trampoline that you can get shipped to your house, and let's get right into the review. Okay, so here's a close look at the Merax trampoline 12-foot, and this one comes in 3 boxes. They're fairly heavy, so you'll want to make sure that they're in your garage or somewhere close to where you're going to be setting this trampoline up, because they are a little hard to maneuver, but once you get them open and get started, it's not too bad. And there's quite a few reviews on how to set this guy up. It's usually about 3 to 4 hour process, a little bit easier with 2-man team, but it can be done with 1 person, not too bad. Just make sure that you do have gloves on, because the poles and stuff are a little bit dirty, have some silver residue on them, and you'll want to make sure that you have gloves on and some old pair of clothes when setting this up. For a 12-foot trampoline, it is a pretty good deal on Amazon. It's kind of your entry-level, intermediate type trampoline. It's got the safety enclosure going around it that is 6.5 feet tall, with padded bars all the way around, 5 of them. And they have this blue type padding underneath the green protector sleeves all the way across, and on the basketball one as well. The basketball has the soft plastic material, so it shouldn't hurt your little ones, with a little extra netting on the sides to help protect the balls from going out of bounds. This one has the 6 U-bar support beams underneath, and some of those other ones on Amazon will only come with 4, so it is really nice to have 2 extra U-beams down here to kind of keep it stabilized, sturdy, and kind of help it keep a little bit more balanced, especially on an uneven yard, if you might have that. Everything is galvanized and should be fairly rust proof. As long as you try to winterize it and take good care of it, it should last quite a bit of years. And these U-shaped support beams are about 3 feet tall, as opposed to some of the other trampolines there on Amazon that were only about 2 feet. And that'll give you a little bit more extra clearance, especially for when adults are jumping on this, or over time as the trampoline gets a little bit older and stretches a little bit more. You'll have quite a bit more clearance, so there won't be any bottoming out. It does put you up just a little bit higher, but the netting enclosure is pretty safe. It's pretty tight in there, and it really keeps anyone from bouncing out, so it shouldn't be too big of a problem for safety concerns. In fact, that's one of the time-consuming setup parts about this trampoline, is getting all of these twine interconnected with each one of the spring connector points on here. You have to route that through and tie that down all the way, kind of in a crisscross motion all the way around, so it keeps it nice and tight. But once you get that on there, it's fairly sturdy, fairly hard to push through, and pretty safe, and it's about 6.5 feet tall, so hard to jump over as well. So as far as the bounce, it's a little bit more, beginner to intermediate. It's not going to be the bounce that you'll find on one of those professional grade trampolines or at your local gymnastics course. The springs are quite a bit larger there. The springs that come with this one aren't too bad. They're galvanized and rust protected, but they are a little short. They're about 5 inches or so. The trampoline I grew up on maybe had springs twice that size, so they're a little bit smaller, and you can kind of tell that in the jump as well. But for the price point, and for this just being kind of a kid-friendly trampoline, it still has a very good bounce, and I'll show you that at the end of the video here. So it does come with a 5-year warranty. I think the frame is only 1 year, but any of the materials are going to be 5-year. And you'll have to confirm that on Amazon with the seller as well, because it might be different for different sellers. The padding seems to be fairly thick. you know, like a ½ inch of padding over here, and then it does have a nice protector shell, and it has a tarp blue mesh underneath here. The springs are pretty easy to hook in place. There's 64 of them on this one. I think on the 14 there is 72 that go around. No extra springs, but you can get replacements pretty easily. And they have a spring installing tool that makes it pretty easy. Just be kind of systematic and organized as you're putting it in, because you'll need to go back and forth from each side and each corner of the trampoline. Okay, and now to kind of show you guys a little bit of the bounce. Okay, so hopefully you got to see a little bit of the bounce right there. Not too bad. And the 12-footer is just enough room for you and a couple of kids. If you have more than that, you might want to go with the 14-footer. It will be a little bit tight, but this one is not too bad for our family. And then in summary, you know, really easy to set up, really speedy delivery, cost effective, pretty good warranty, especially 5 years for most of the parts. Decent bounce, extra room so you don't bottom out, plenty of support around the sides, decent springs, good quality on the cushion, good quality on the material, good quality on the netting. No real complaints except for maybe the size of the springs. If the springs were just a little bit larger, you might be able to get a little bit more air, but as you can see, I was able to, you know, jump and do flips with pretty ease. And for everything to be able to be shipped in a box, it has to be small and compact, and that kind of helps get it here faster and help with the setup. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and you can always use the link in the description to get you to Amazon. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.